You a boy that I'm trying to raise to be a man.
Watch your mouth.
You watch your fucking mouth, nigga. Fuck wrong with you? Huh?
The movie starts in Los Angeles, 1992, with Mercer receiving a phone call from Child Services. He has conditional custody of his son, Antoine. As Mercer tries to wake Antoine for school, Riggin talks to his friend Copeland about doing one last robbery to leave their criminal ways behind for a more peaceful life. At Mercer's home, he prepares breakfast for Antoine, who refuses to eat. The radio reports on a trial involving Rodney King, a white policeman who, along with others, brutally assaulted an innocent black man, sparking outrage within the black community. Mercer attempts to talk with Antoine, but Antoine demands answers for Mercer's absence during his childhood and not being there when his mother had her accident. Mercer stays patient but eventually gets angry when Antoine uses bad language after Mercer imposes a curfew due to the tensions surrounding the Rodney King case. Meanwhile, Riggin picks up his brother Dennis and visits their troublesome father for a demo of their planned robbery. Later, Mercer visits a grocery store, where he encounters young troublemakers harassing an Asian cashier. When Mercer calmly asks them to stop, they threaten him with a gun. Their leader, DeVille, intervenes, reprimanding them for not recognizing Mercer's important role in their community's past. DeVille personally apologizes to Mercer and inquires about his release from jail, explaining his absence from the family. Mercer mentions he was released 6 months ago and is currently keeping a low profile. Meanwhile, Riggin takes his father to a factory where his contact has provided him with complete details about a vault containing platinum worth $10 million. The vault is made of sturdy material and is protected by an alarm that triggers a metal cage to encase it. Despite the meticulous heist plan, Riggin's father is reluctant to undertake such a major job and criticizes their lack of professionalism to bypass security and cameras at the factory. These comments add to Riggin's frustrations with his father, but he remains silent and takes his father home. Meanwhile, Mercer, who works at the platinum factory, observes them. Later, Mercer chats with the head of security, Joseph, about the Rodney King case, noting that there could be serious repercussions if the verdict doesn't favor the black victim. As Mercer begins work, Riggin's brother Dennis offers him support after their father rejects the plan. That day, news breaks that Rodney has been found not guilty by the jury, igniting outrage in the black community. Violent protests erupt in Los Angeles, growing larger and more chaotic. Antoine, coming home from school, notices the riot nearby, with people looting a liquor store. Watching the news, Riggin gets an idea to proceed with his heist, figuring the police will be preoccupied with the riots. He contacts his dad, who also agrees to proceed with their plan. At the same time, Mercer, along with all the factory workers, are given the rest of the day off to return home and stay safe. Riggin receives an update from an insider at the factory and quickly informs Dennis, prompting them to start their heist. They pick up Copeland from his place, where his pregnant wife stays behind, as he advises. Meanwhile, Mercer asks Joseph if Antoine can stay at the factory because his home is in a dangerous area, which isn't safe for his son now. Joseph, feeling empathetic, allows them to stay for protection. On the other hand, Riggin picks up his father and gets upset because his dad hired 2 bodyguards for security. Mercer drives through a violent protest to fetch his son but finds the house empty. As police cars head to the disturbance, Dennis drives to the factory. Joseph, tired of watching the surveillance screens, takes a stroll around the building. Riggin disables and ties up the outside security guard, then they drive their van through the main entrance. They move through the loading docks, assuming it's empty, but encounter Joseph by the vending machine. Riggin politely asks him to step aside, yet his father's bodyguards shoot him instantly, shocking the group. Riggin threatens the bodyguard, and vice versa, but their father calms them down by focusing on their shared goal, platinum. The bodyguards cut the phone lines and surveillance, then drive a forklift to the safe room, preparing their tools to crack the safe. Mercer spots his son standing motionless near a grocery store being robbed, so he grabs him firmly and takes him to his vehicle. Meanwhile, the thieves begin drilling into the safe. Joseph regains consciousness and drags himself to hit the security button, which causes the metal barrier to start lowering. Riggin quickly drives the forklift to block the barrier, accidentally trapping Copeland's leg under a tire, crushing it. Riggin, in a panic, attempts to reverse the forklift to free him, but his selfish father refuses, fearing the barrier will descend. Frustrated, Riggin curses his father, who retaliates by having the thieves take the forklift's keys, preventing Riggin from moving it. An air patrol helicopter hears the alarm at the factory and decides to check it out. Meanwhile, Antoine tries to run from the car to join the protest, but Mercer pulls him back, saying violence isn't the answer and explaining they're just damaging their own neighborhood, which is what the police want. At the factory, the thieves disable the alarm and shoot Joseph again. As Mercer and Antoine drive through a chaotic area, they see a group harassing a white couple. Mercer intervenes, fights off the attackers, and tells the couple to escape quickly. The robbers attempt to blow up the safe but halt when they notice the helicopter overhead. The helicopter crew notices the area is calm, so they decide to move on. Mercer and his son Antoine are stopped at random by some police officers who have imposed their own rules. These officers mistreat them because of their race, pulling them out of the vehicle to search it without a warrant. After finding nothing, they release them, but the incident leaves Antoine shaken and disturbed by their unjust behavior. Meanwhile, the criminals successfully blow open the safe, making themselves wealthy. Riggin prepares the getaway van, and Dennis heads to the bathroom to clean Copeland's blood from his hands. Mercer and Antoine arrive at the scene, noting the unusual absence of the main door guard. Mercer directs Antoine to the bathroom. Antoine's sudden arrival alarms Dennis, who points a gun at him. At the same time, Mercer discovers Joseph's body and arms himself with Joseph's gun. When confronted by the thugs, he manages to escape and searches for Antoine, only to find him missing. He rushes to the loading dock, cuts the power to disorient the thieves, and takes down one thug, then returns to the dock in time to knock Riggin out as he parks the van, taking him captive. Dennis brings Antoine to meet his father, where they witness Copeland in distress after losing a leg. Mercer attempts to question Riggin, but when it proves futile, he deduces they are after the platinum, sneaks into the vault, and sees Riggin's father threatening him. When Copeland's yelling becomes unbearable, the old man shoots him multiple times, killing him and traumatizing both Dennis and Antoine. Antoine manages to persuade the old man that he's searching for his missing father who works there, earning enough sympathy to be let go. Unfortunately, the man's thugs arrive just then, reporting Riggin's disappearance. The old man quickly recalls Antoine, accusing him of lying and decides to use him as bait to retrieve Riggin, keeping him close while sending thugs to investigate the van, only to find its rotor gone. Meanwhile, Mercer sneaks out, trying to signal a helicopter for help, but it is disregarded. A thug catches Mercer off guard, assaults him, and demands the van's rotor back, which Mercer had taken to immobilize the vehicle. In defiance, Mercer retaliates, eventually shooting the thug, who crashes through the safe room's glass ceiling, landing in front of the old man. Returning to Riggin, Mercer unties him, expressing regret about Riggin's cruel father, exposing that a teammate, Copeland, was shot before his own son. This revelation turns Riggin against his father. Meanwhile, the old man and a thug pour acid around the vault and other objects, then collect the platinum bars and depart. Dennis sits with Antoine, trying to find out if he knows where Riggin is. Antoine insists he doesn't know. Meanwhile, the old man negotiates over comms, telling Mercer to come to the loading dock for a trade, without weapons. Riggin warns Mercer it's a trap since Antoine is a witness, and his father eliminates all witnesses. Mercer decides to rely on Riggin, who is cooperating. At the loading docks, Dennis is busy loading platinum into a van. The old man takes the van's rotor to get it fixed but then decides to shoot Antoine in revenge for the thug Mercer just killed. Mercer quickly pushes Riggin towards the van, opening fire with his gun, hitting Dennis. Eventually, Riggin assists Dennis into the van, which Mercer and Antoine drive off with, escaping with the platinum. Eager for cash, Riggin's father along with his thug, steals Mercer's car at the main gate and chases them. When Dennis dies in Riggin's arms, Riggin is devastated and starts shooting at his father. This leads the thug to shoot Riggin in the chest. Even as he fades, Riggin shoots the thug. The gunfire distracts Antoine and Mercer, causing them to crash the van badly. The old man finds his precious platinum scattered on the ground. Seeing Riggin on the verge of death, he apologizes for never being enough and shoots Riggin in the head. When Mercer tries to crawl out of the wrecked van, the old man approaches to kill him, but Antoine, with shaking hands, shoots his father from behind, rescuing Mercer. The movie concludes with the father and son embracing and driving away together. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you want to watch more videos like this. Thanks and see you again soon. Take care.